Hey guys, how you doing? Uncle Bob here once again with another video, and today we're going to be doing a pretty cool, awesome review of the NECA Saw Ultimate Jigsaw figure. It's obviously from the very iconic now uh, Saw horror film franchise, which is I'm a huge fan of the films. Seen them many times. I've got quite a few stuff in the collection, and I've started to, over the last few months or last few years, started to put a collection together and got quite a nice little collection going on here. I'll probably add some more stuff, but I've got quite a nice collection here. I'm going to do a collection video after this. So I've got a collection going on. So yeah, the Saw Ultimate figure, which is the first Ultimate figure Saw the NECA have done. They've done other figures before, but they've only done the basic classic versions. I think they've just done. Well, as far as what I've seen, I've only seen the NECA classic basic versions that NECA have done of the Jigsaw killer figure. Obviously, one in a black robe and one in a red robe. Those ones I've seen. I think that's the only thing. They haven't brought out many Saw figures, NECA, and this is only the sort of first time they've done the Ultimate versions. It's not really, so there's not been many figures. I don't think they've got much love as it should have got, because it's had about 10 films in the franchise now, so I think it's not got probably as much attention as it should have gone. I mean, there's various stuff that you can get as regards to Saw, but figures wise, not been many. And this was released, I think it was sometime last year, but they've only just been released in the UK. They was released in America, I think that was last year, but only just coming to the UK just now. I had to. It was very difficult to get this figure. It's not actually. I don't even actually think it is released in the shops yet. I got it on eBay from a guy, seller that imported them from America. So I don't even think they're actually even officially released. There's been so much delays in America. They seem to get these figures quite quickly. As soon as they're sort of released out there quickly. But over in the UK, it's very difficult to get some of these figures, and the date keeps changing on the release, and they're very difficult to get hold of. And this wasn't easy to get hold of. I originally pre-ordered it, then I cancelled it because they kept saying to me the date had changed, and then all of a sudden there was a guy on eBay selling these. Quite pricey. They're selling this for £60, and they're supposed to be about retail about 45. So we're selling it for 60, but got a special discount, so I paid 54. So slightly more than what I wanted to pay, but because I really wanted this figure and I just didn't want to wait any longer, so I waited months and months already. So yeah, paid slightly more than I wanted to, but I'm paying this on installments, so it works out a lot cheaper. So you just pay it installments over the next 3 months, so it works out cheaper. So yeah, paid a little bit more than I wanted to, but happy I've got it finally after waiting ages. Yeah, so anyway, so let's go on to looking at the box. Now, I wouldn't say the box is that much advertising from that. I know that's the trap that goes on a victim's head, but it doesn't look that appealing. So it says Saw Ultimate Jigsaw there, Saw Ultimate Jigsaw there, and similar to the front design there. So I wouldn't say it's that advertising. So as you can see, it tells us all, but it's not that advertising. We usually just needed Jigsaw photo of him on the front, some more maybe images of the movie. Just looks a bit dull on there, but on the other images, that doesn't seem too bad. Seems quite good. There's one of Billy Puppet there. That's one of the accessories you get with the figure. And there's some really good images. So this probably actually should have been the front, because this looks really good. There's one of Jigsaw there, then a Billy Puppet again. Then one of obviously Jigsaw with the got no hair there, because there's one of the head sculpt with hair and one with no hair. I'm trying to think when he has no hair. I'm trying to think when that happens when he has no hair. I've seen him when he had hair. Was there no hair? Is that later on in the movies? Can't think. And then there's the head sculpt, which is the pig mask, which is in some of the films. It's hard to think of what one's what in each movie, because there's 10 movies, so it's hard to think of which film. And there's an image of the actual figure there in the red. So this is the red robe version, and it's kind of like a cloth version, if you will, because the red robe is a material. So instead of it being plastic, so it's almost like it is an ultimate, but it's sort of like an ultimate cloth version, because the material is cloth. Usually with ultimates, don't get the usually get the cloth version and then ultimate. You don't usually get, so this is sort of like, I don't know why they decided to do that. Maybe they just thought it'd look better. But anyway, there's the sort of back part where it's sort of all just red. I guess like it's supposed to be blood. But anyway, I was trying to think when he actually has a red robe in some of the movies. I've got all the movies here, but I was trying to see, I can't remember which one had the red robe, because it's mostly black, but it changes from red. I was trying to think, I'm going to have to watch all these films again, because I usually watch them in October during Halloween, so I watched them, months back. But I think because I'm in sort of like a sore mood where I'm getting the figure and the collection sorted out, I'm sort of in the mood to, and I want to go watch them again. So I want to go through a few things, and I want to check what ones he did have the red robe, and also I want to go a few of the traps as well, because with regard to the accessories, they look okay, because you get like Billy Puppet and stuff, the pig mask and a couple of the traps. I think maybe there should have been a couple more traps, would have been cool. But yeah, I'm trying to think which one he had the red robe in it. Trying to think. It's difficult because there's so many. I'm trying to think which one had the black robe and which one had the red robe. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go. I think he might have had the red robe there. It looks like he has it in that. So that's Saw 6, I believe. What I might do is I might pick 4 of the films out and just watch them again, because I don't think there'll be enough time to watch all of them again. So what I'll do is I'll pick like 4 out and then watch them again, just to go over a few things. But yeah, but let's check out the actual figure at last. I was looking at it through the box, and I was looking up to see, because some of these figures are sometimes fake and knockoffs, and then getting them, you always get them in the comments, because even if you think it's all right, you get comments from people that know a lot more than what I do, saying it's fake or it's real. I was looking at it. I lifted the lid up because it only just come today after waiting ages and ages. So when it came, I flipped the lid to check to see if all the accessories were there, because it was a bit touch and go, because I didn't really know if it was genuine from this seller, and there was delays on the delivery, and there was communication problems where they didn't respond, so it wasn't great. And then it finally got updated, being delivered, and then I got it today. So I was checking to see if it was genuine, and I was looking at the head sculpt and thought, does that look really genuine? And so I'm a little still unknown whether it's a fake or whether it's genuine. It feels quite a solid figure, and all the accessories are there. So I'm hoping it is being imported and it is a genuine real. It feels quite solid. Usually fakes, a lot of them are like loose and stuff. And then I was looking at the head sculpt and I was thinking, I don't know, that looks a bit questionable, but I think just due to its expression on the face, I think it is genuine. But I don't know, it doesn't. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just my opinion. I don't know if it looks like the best head sculpt. There's the other one from the original cult classics. I think that one looks quite good on the cult classic, to be honest. Does actually look like the actor, doesn't it? I don't know. Does the other one look like it? Looks like the skin tone on there's more, but it looks quite pale on there. I don't know. Maybe the other one looks actually better, perhaps. Yeah, maybe it's not painted as well as the other one, but it doesn't look too bad. The hair looks okay, but it just it looks just a little white and just a little pale. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that because he's sort of like giving the roses sort of like dead, but he's not dead. But obviously he dies, or supposedly die in the movies, but then he comes back to life, doesn't he? But that's supposed to be set late on as before he dies. He dies, doesn't he, eventually? But then the traps stuff are still going on. I suppose it looks okay. Maybe it's just like quite. It seems like it's quite pale, painted, and that doesn't look like there's any dark sort of areas in there. Sort of looks quite light, doesn't it? Maybe it's not painted dark enough, perhaps, but that's just my thoughts on there. Doesn't look too bad, I guess. Now going on to the body. So obviously it's the red robe. It's famous for in the movies, which is like done in a cloth material instead of plastic, like the other one is. And that looks pretty good. Again, I'm not sure if it's 100% accurate on the movie, but it looks quite long. And I do like the red, that dark red colour looks pretty good. You might not be able to see it's dark on here, but off camera it looks like it does look like it's the right sort of dark red. I think it looks a lot more brighter on camera. But yeah, it looks pretty good. There's you've got the hood of the robe there, so you can obviously put that on. I guess you could say it's sort of like boxer's sort of long robe. There. Yeah, doesn't look too bad. So obviously put the hood over him. It goes fully over, or just should have it like that, but looks way better without, doesn't it? I don't know if he actually does he have the hood up in the film. I'm trying to remember if he does. I don't remember seeing him with the hood up. I just remember him having it like that, sort of without the hood. But now underneath, he's got a red vest or shirt. It's just got it just looks like a vest because the arms are black. I'm guessing they just paint that because I think when he's got the coat on, you don't actually see most of it. Maybe you just see a bit of the red, so maybe they just didn't know whether it was a shirt or vest. I'm guessing it was sort of like a shirt, but in this, it's just that bit that's painted red, sort of like, so it looks like a vest. That doesn't look too bad. Then sort of black trousers. So red, and then black trousers. I'm guessing they were black trousers and then black boots. Bit of detail on the boots there. Yeah, so do that back up. Yeah, so it looks pretty good. Then we've got some black gloves. Looks okay. What else? I don't think there's anything else on the figure. Now let's look at the articulation. I think this might have pretty good articulation. Let's see. Like the arms seem to go up. I don't think they go any further than that by the looks of it. Now, is there a joint on the arm? Yes, there is. Elbow joint there. The arms Go round and round there. Don't think there's any other joint on there. Doesn't feel as though there is, and I'm guessing it's the same on that arm. Yeah, there's a joint there in the elbow, and then obviously the arm goes up. Same on that hand there. Head goes side to side, and I'm guessing backwards and forwards. Yeah, looks like it. And don't know if there's any sort of swivel on the body there. I think there may be some movement there. It seems to be moving backwards and forwards. And then I think the legs, there's some movement there. That's not too bad on the legs. It doesn't go like massively high or anything, but it seems to be some extension there. Oh, yeah, relatively decent kick. Not that he's going to get in near those sort of poses. He's not sort of an athletic guy, is he? I don't think he does any fighting actually, to be honest, other than using the traps. But it's quite a good height on the leg. I'm guessing it's the same on the other one. There's a joint on the knee, I believe. Not much, but it's there. Not much movement on the feet, don't think. Yeah, doesn't really seem to be moving much at all. But the articulation, yeah, it's fair. It's not too bad for a figure this caliber. So yeah, I'll say the articulation is pretty decent. For I think what you need for this figure, quite basic. Because I mean, most of the time he's just going to be just standing there, really, not getting in many poses. Maybe poses with the arms holding some of the tools or whatever. But I think most of the time he's just going to be just standing there, really. Yeah, so let's actually look at the accessories. As I said, they look pretty good, but maybe there should have been a couple more traps. But that maybe just being me being just fussy. But it's got the main sort of stuff. It's obviously Billy Puppet, a mini. I think it's sort of like a mini version of the NECA Billy Puppet prop, because I've got that. And that's sort of like a mini scale version of that, which is quite good that you get that included. I think you did get one included with the other figure, but I got that second hand on eBay, so it didn't come included with that. But I have got the smaller version that actually I bought separate. You can get these from China on eBay, only for about what, £8-9, might even be less than that now. But I bought this because I saw it on eBay and I thought that was really cool. So you can get these actually separate, and they actually work well with those figures, because mine didn't come with it, and I've since been using it to stand next to that figure, and it works really well. And yeah, so there's that. So yeah, that looks pretty cool. It does look like almost, well, it's pretty much a smaller version of that, so that's pretty cool. Looks like there's pretty good detail in that. So it's painted okay. Really good detail in that, actually. Painted nicely. And they're little sort of shiny boots. Are they supposed to be like that? Shiny like that? They're not shiny like that on the well, they're quite red. But on this, they're sort of, I don't know if you can see that on camera, but they're shiny and sort of sparkly silver. Sparkly red, I should say. Which I don't know if that's supposed to be right, whether they're just supposed to be plain red. They're sort of shiny, they're sort of like really shiny. They're sort of that material, that stuff, what's that stuff that you get, that's that shiny sort of clothing material that's sort of shiny. Don't know what it's called. But yeah, they're sort of red and sort of shiny, so I don't know if that's right or not, or if it's supposed to be like that. But anyway, Billy Puppet, mini one. Get with the figure. As I said, looks pretty cool. And also you get his tricycle. Now I did get the, as I said, I did get the NECA prop which I got on eBay for a really good price, but unfortunately it didn't come with a tricycle. But this one does, so I'm guessing you can pop him on that. Gives him a hold in the handlebars, I guess. Done it like that. You can put the handlebars through his closed fizz, so that's pretty good. You can get his actual little legs on the pedals, or you can sort of line it up. Don't know how well it will line up. It might not line up that well. Might have to glue that on to get it to line up, but it does get on there. Whether it's straight or not, I don't know. So yeah, you can sort of get him on the tricycle, which looks pretty good. Good accessory, sort of mini scale version of the NECA prop. Yeah, so it's just sort of lining the legs up with it. It doesn't sort of go there, but it's sort of, yeah, it's a case of sort of lining up. You might have to bend it slightly to get it to get in, but the handlebars go through the holes in his hands pretty easily, so that's pretty good. Now we go on to the couple of head sculpts that you get. So there's one of the one where he has no hair. That's pretty much the same head sculpt as that, but with no hair. And I was trying to think where he has no hair. Was it ones later on? I'm trying to think. I think there's a bit where he gets his head shaved. Is that not right? I can't remember. As I said, I'm gonna have to. As I said, I watched all the films at Halloween that I do every year. But I think I'm going to have to just watch a couple of them again to go over a few things, because I'm trying to think of when a bit where he had his head shaved. Anyway, but there's that head. And the other one is the pig head sculpt, which is obviously a mask. It's not actually a head, but they've done it as a head sculpt. And I believe there's another version of the cult classic one where it has this head sculpt as the head sculpt pig version, and that's one that you can change over. So let's actually see if we can get that to change over and see how easy it is to change over, because usually with these sometimes they're quite difficult to change over. There's the other head sculpt. I think I'll be using just the regular normal head. And yes, there's one that looks like without the hair, and then there's one. Look at one that looks like the pig. Look at the head sculpts going pretty easily. A lot of the figures you get, the head sculpts are quite difficult to get on and off, but these seem quite easy to get on. That just popped off and popped on quite easily. So there's one that looks like with a pig. It's quite good, decent like the movie. I'm tempted to actually have one of the sort of figures with that sort of in different various poses, but I think I'm going to keep the head on that. But there's one that looks like with the pig, with hair. Here's the trap. I wonder if that actually goes on. Let's have a look at the head sculpt. So here's the trap. Now this looks pretty awesome. From, I think it's like from the, I don't know, I'm trying to think how many times this is actually used in the films. So that's another thing I'm going to have to go over and check. So I think it was like the 4th, 5th one, but I think it might have been a bit earlier. I'm pretty sure it's used more than once. And it's the trap that goes on the victim's head, and then if they don't get out of the trap, I think it closes down and crushes their mouth open or something, splits their mouth open or whatever. But it looks like this has got pretty good detail on this. It's sort of like brown, sort of metal kind of look, and it's got all kinds of bits going on it. Mechanical mechanisms, and it looks pretty awesome. It looks pretty good to me. Sorry about the camera, it doesn't seem to be focusing very well. But anyway, there's the trap. Let's see if it actually goes on the head. If it does actually go on. I think it does, actually it does. I didn't know if it actually would fit onto the head. We actually need a victim, don't we? Yeah, it does actually go on. I don't know if it sits really well, but there you go. Pretty sure that bit's supposed to go over the mouth, but yeah, pretty sure that's the back section. Pretty sure that goes over the mouth, which was there, because that looks like the back. I don't think that's the back. I don't think that's the back, I should say. So that looks pretty much. I think that's how it's supposed to go. Yes, so it's pretty good that it actually goes on. You can sort of get a sort of basic civilian figure and then put the trap on. Yeah, so that looks pretty good that it actually goes on to the head. Pretty good. We get 3 hands, which is a bit unusual because, you know, you would think you'd get at least 2 pairs, but there's 3, which is an unusual amount, which is a bit strange. Would have thought there would have been at least, like, you know, 4, you know, to change over each hand, but you know, for some strange reason 3, so that's a bit strange. Then you get the recorder, which is the which was obviously a recording of. I'm trying to think if that's the one that was used in the first film, where there's that recording of it. It says, "We're gonna play the whole game." So that's a bad impression. I can usually do one better than that. I'm pretty sure that's used from the first movie. I'm trying to think all the other films, if it's used as well, or if it's just the first film. And I'm trying to think whether he uses that. I'm trying to think whether you see him use that, and it's got it in his hand. I was trying to think if you see him holding it. As I said, that's another thing I'm going to have to check in the film. But yeah, I do remember it being used in the first one. And it looks not too bad. You can see the little cassette in there. It's got pretty nice little detail there. Something so small. Yeah, pretty cool device. And then we've got the blade, I guess, which is like a blade that's built into some sort of mechanism, and I think that goes onto his arm because that's the same one as the one that's on the Cult Classic, so I'm guessing it attaches to his arm in some way. Let's see, it's probably sleeve up because I reckon it's under there. Wonder why it doesn't say you can just attach that to the arm. I'm trying to roll his sleeve up, it doesn't seem to, but I can't see where you can attach it. Can't see it on that side either. I wonder if you have to take the jacket off to get it on. Let's see if we can, because I wanted to see if there was a bit on the arm, but I can't see. I'm trying to roll his sleeve out to see if I can get it to. I think I can feel where it's supposed to go, but the sleeve doesn't seem to be rolling up. But then, I don't know, I can't still see any sort of section. Unless you have to take his hand off to get it on to his wrist, perhaps. Let's see if that works. I think that may be it. I think you have to take his hand off to get it on. That probably is the case. I think you have to do that with some of the other figures. Because I don't see any other way of getting that on. Because I tried to roll his sleeve up to see if there was a bit that connected it onto it. But I don't think it does. I think you just take the hand off and put that on. So there you go. Yeah, so you have to take his hand off to get that on, and then that just push that over where the wrist part is, then put the hand back on. I can't see any other way that getting it on. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think we've looked at the traps. I think, as I said, I think I'm just going to have him displayed eventually, just standing there with Billy Puppet, I think. But I'm tempted to get at least another figure to have it displayed. As I said, I might do it one in the with the pig head sculpt. But yeah, it's a pretty good figure, I'd say. As I said, I wasn't too keen on the head sculpt. I think it could have been maybe painted darker. The red robe looks pretty good. The accessories are good, but I think maybe it could have been one or two things, but that's just me being fussy. I think the box is pretty good, but I think the front cover doesn't look too advertising, but the other images look pretty good. The articulation is pretty good on this as well. So yeah, overall pretty decent thing. I'm glad to finally get it in the collection after waiting ages and ages. So guys, that's going to be my review of this. I hope it wasn't too long. I'm going to be doing a saw collection, which won't be as long. It will literally be like a few minutes. I'm not going to be doing like talking, going over stuff. I'm just going to literally be doing a quick look at the collection, because you can see what's there. I don't have to go blabbering on about what's there. You can see what's there. So that's going to be quick. So not like this, where it's going to be long and maybe a bit irritating. So guys, hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care, bye for now, see you soon.